We live.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Whitney. I hope your week has been going great. So, y'all know the overall topic has been loving yourself to health, and my next guest definitely understands the assignment. I have, and this is a really sweet person. I love her. I watched her grow up from a teenager to a grown up. This young lady have inspired me. I love her to pieces. Y'all help me welcome Symone Of Symone Talks. And we're going to get into this really quickly. Symone!
You're gonna make a dog cry. I'm just like,
So let me go ahead and rattle off a few things that you have going on, honey. A few titles that you wear.
yes.
So she is a mental health advocate. She's
Yep.
a motivational speaker
Yes.
and a content creator.
Yes, I am.
And listen, just hold on. Hey, Fruit. Hey, honey, we're gonna talk to the people, and we want the people to clap back,
Hey.
talk back to us this evening.
Hey, Angela.
How are you? Hey, cousin. So again, tonight we have our very special guest, Symone from Symone Talk. Symone, tell us a little bit about what's going on, lady, in your world.
Hello. Hey, everyone. First, like Miss Whitney said, she has literally seen me go from a teenager to a grown woman. So she's seen it all. Whole transformation.
Beautiful
And I've
transformation.
seen the same for her. So first I want to say thank you so much for having me. I am so proud of everything that you're doing. Just as much as you're proud of me, I am proud of you. And I truly think that it's amazing, and it is needed, especially in our community. So keep going. Like she said, I am Symone Talks. I am the founder and CEO of my personal brand, which started off as a YouTube video just for people to get to know me, because I felt like people didn't understand me, or if they did know me, all they saw was my skin complexion. So I started my YouTube channel. I was like, I'm gonna call it Symone Talks, and I'm gonna just show my personality. And it turned into me actually being able to share my testimony, and it being a healing journey and a healing process for me and for others. So that's a little bit about me and my brand.
So let's jump back into it, because the title of this actual episode is Leading by Faith with
Right.
Symone. So Symone Talks was birthed from pretty much an insecure place.
Yes. So when I was growing up, being dark skinned, if you black, get back. That's what I experienced. So that's
So
what it
mean.
was. I was like, we don't like y'all. So I'm like, people, they see this color, and it made me insecure, because I'm like, okay, so I'm so dark. I'm thinking I'm dark, I'm ugly. People would say, oh, you got a crooked smile. Oh, my smile crooked. That makes it even worse. So it was just like I took on the identity that they gave me before I could really like love me, know me, get to know me. And it made me very insecure in who I was. So when I got older and wiser, I'm like, nah, I'm going to take my power back, and I'm going to show them who I am outside of being this dark skinned person with a crooked smile, or with this imperfection, because it's more to me than just looks. I am a person.
So what realization did you have to come to say, you know what, I'm just done with everybody else's ignorance?
Well,
What was your breaking point?
so
Or your breakout point, rather, because you had to break out of that to come into where you are now. What was that turning point for you?
okay, so the turning point for me, I was actually in a relationship with someone that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in a relationship with. I was working a job that I hated. Like, the job mentally and emotionally drained me. So the moment I stopped working that job, I just said, I was like, okay, like, I really need to change something. Something has to give. And I just sat with God, and things started shifting in my relationship, and I didn't know how to navigate it, because it was what I wanted, because I wanted my life to be right, and I wanted that relationship to be right, to honor God. But I was so used to living my life a certain way in the world, like, fornicating and all of that. So I was like, yeah, what's going on? Like, what is this? And he's like, so this is what you wanted. And I'm like, I don't know what I want. So I'll never forget, we had got into an argument, and I just broke down, and I'm just like, God, what do I do? How do I move from this place? And he told me to leave. I left everything. I left my relationship. I left everything I had. And once I left, that's when I truly started getting into a true relationship with God. Because I knew God
Beautiful.
growing up. As you know, we went
Yes,
to
yes.
the
We
same church.
met
I
at
knew
church.
God. I knew him. I had connection with him. But
Mhm.
when I started going to college and really exploring stuff and living my life, I kind of left God behind because I wanted to enjoy my friends. I wanted to get to know people. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be
Right.
known. So once I got into that relationship, I had a choice. Either I was going to honor God or I was going to honor the woman that I thought I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
So once we had our differences and I broke down, I was like, I'm not breaking down no more. I was just crying. God was just like, Symone, get up. And it's
Yes.
time to go. And from there, I just been going. I never looked back. I just
How
went
long?
full
How long
stops.
has it been?
It's been 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, and you've had Symone Talks for how long?
5. It'll be 5 years this year. So that situation birthed everything that I do now.
So, did you see a shift in Symone Talks when you made the decision to forsake everything else?
It was a big shift actually. I like I said, I started Symone Talks to show who I was. And
Mm-hmm.
then once I shifted and I left the situation, it actually turned into me talking about what I went through, because for so long I felt ashamed. I felt like everything I went through was my fault. So I didn't want to talk about it. People would bring, oh, Symone, you was raped. Symone, you went through this. I'm just like, I don't know what they talk about. I didn't
Right.
like, if I don't acknowledge it, maybe it never happened and it
Right.
won't affect me as much. So once I left that situation, I had to face me. And
Right.
that's when I started actually saying, okay, so this is what I went through, talking about it, typing about it, writing about it, different ways I was able to express that. And I needed that.
And that's how you became a mental health advocate.
Yes, ma'am. That's how because I battled with depression, and then
Mm-hmm.
I battled with suicidal thoughts and ideation. I had multiple attempts, but God, he never let me leave this earth. So once I truly came into the woman, started coming into the woman he had for me to be outside of the identity I took from others, then I was like, okay, let me understand my mind, like what's going on spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Like I wanted to know the spiritual and the natural side of it. So I became an advocate for it because I feel like, especially in our community, when it comes to mental health, we don't realize how important it is. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
oh, go pray about it. Go
Absolutely.
cry it out. Go write about
Absolutely.
it. You'll be all right. You don't need help. You'll be all right.
Right.
God gonna take
We've
care
been
of you.
conditioned to just continue to go or whatever. And in the Black community, of course, everything was go pray about it and leave it in God's hands. But sometimes you need a little bit more than that. You need to go seek help through a professional,
Yes.
and so that's very, very important. I ain't saying leave God behind, but go
Right.
talk to somebody.
Yes. You need both.
Yes.
God and therapy is doable.
Yes. So let me ask you something, and I hope this isn't going to be too hard to answer because you just gave me a mouthful of victory. Who is Symone?
Symone is brilliant. Symone
Yes.
is smart. Symone is creative.
Yes.
Symone is a child of God. Symone
Yes.
is a woman of excellence. Symone is a woman of pride. Symone is a lover. Symone is a fighter. It's so many different attributes about me that I
Yes.
learned through doing my brand. It's just like I'm a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have beauty for ashes. That's one of my favorite scriptures. God
Mm-hmm.
gives us beauty for ashes for everything we're going through. So
Mm-hmm.
not only am I a powerhouse, I'm also a survivor, because everything that could have took me out didn't take me out. I
That's right.
overcame it with
That's
God.
right.
So Symone, she's fire.
I like it. I like it, Symone. Honey, let me tell you something. Let me just say that God used you to ignite a fire under me. Two or 3 years ago, you had me on Symone Talks as a
Yeah,
guest,
God wins.
and it was fun. It was on my birthday, October 7th, a couple years ago, but it was my birthday, and this Let's Talk with Whitney Danelle had been sitting on me for a long time. I mean, I've tried to birth projects with other people, but it was something about being afraid of just stepping out on faith myself. And that night that I sat with you and I talked with you on the on Symone Talks, it lit something. And it was a little ember at first. Of course, we need some wind to blow on it.
Yeah.
And the wind is a few other friends that came through and said, "Girl, do it. Hurry up and do
Yeah.
it. Stop." Fear kept trying to put my fire out,
Yeah.
but fear can't win. The fear is
Right.
not the fear is not of God. So I want to say thank you on Let's Talk with Whitney Danelle personally, because you helped me. You helped me, and I appreciate you. I remember you, talking to me that night, saying how I inspired you. I just want to say that God definitely used you to do the same with me. And again, I appreciate you. So
Thank
let's,
you.
yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
I'm not gonna cry. We don't laugh.
You are definitely an amazing young lady, or what have you. So you've been when I say leading by faith, because it definitely was a faith move for you to start Symone Talks and to continue on this long. Um, what faith? What faith? I'm losing my train of thought. Oh my God, y'all, come on. What faithful tips are you giving to people to start their business and continue on? Because you have so many shorts
Yes.
that's out there. So what are some of your go-to quotes?
Okay, so this is actually a personal quote that God gave me, that I actually live by. And the greatest thing I will ever remember is that your testimony is your purpose, and
Yes.
your purpose is your power. No matter what you're doing, it is purpose, and that's where your power lies in. So to walk in it and to trust God, you have to remember that it is purpose. Like I pride myself on telling people, you have something that everyone needs. People struggle with starting businesses, like you say. Fear comes in, doubt comes in,
Mm-hmm.
procrastination comes
Mm-hmm.
in, the inner me comes in, but
Mm-hmm.
it's something that everyone needs. Like when you started, you have a conversation, you have words that all of us need, and it's power in that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the greatest things I would ever tell a business owner, is to remember the power that your purpose have over the emotions that you feel, the situation that you may go through, what it looked like. Nothing is greater than that. Nothing.
Right. That's right. That's right. So I saw that you just had a brunch not too long ago. Tell us a little bit about that brunch and how what that was inspired by.
Woo! Okay. So last year, I actually did a reflection on this on my podcast. Last year, early in 2022, around I will never forget it, around April,
Mm-hmm.
my character was completely assassinated.
Okay.
Like someone publicly humiliated me all over the internet over an opinion. And from that, it challenged my confidence.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was like, oh yeah, I trust God. My confidence is in God. My confidence is not in man. You know, I know this. Once
Mm-hmm.
that situation happened, it's like, okay, Symone, what is your confidence really in? Because this is happening to you, but you're afraid. You're
Right.
timid. You want to give up. You
Right.
want to dial back. You want to throw in a towel. So who is your confidence really in? Is it in God? Is it in man? Is it in people? Is it what they
Mm-hmm.
say? Is it in yourself? So after going through that, and then really sitting with God and Him challenging me on
Mm-hmm.
what a confident me really is,
Okay.
that birthed my event. Because a lot of times we think that we're confident until life hit us. And
Ooh,
then
say
when
that.
life hit us, it exposes who we have faith, who we have confidence in, and what we stand on. So once that situation happened and it challenged me, God was like, okay, Symone, you're confident. It's clearly, it's in me. We could say 50%, but
Mm-hmm.
50% of it is what men say, what men think, because you shrunk because of man. You want to give up, you wanted to give up because of man.
Mm-hmm.
You creep back into doing Symone Talks because of man. So he had to shift it, and he completely let me know that I had to have confidence in him more than anything, more
Okay.
than what my mama say, more than what my daddy say, more than what my friends say. And through that, that is what I did with the women. I wanted them to really reflect on how they saw themselves, because a lot of times we see ourselves as filthy, as dirty, as shameful, as ugly, and then that's not even God's truth. That's not really how people see us. Like, we take on so much, we think so
Mm-hmm.
much that is not
Mm-hmm.
true. Like, we truly are our biggest enemy. And I wanted to have that event to let people know that get outside of yourself,
That's
because
it.
we destroy us. People
Mm-hmm.
come in and they may say words or they may feel some type of way, but they can't plant a seed if it's not already watered. If
Right.
you don't already feel that way, they can't
Mm-hmm.
saturate that. So I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted the women to know that confidence is not just you, it's what God says. The truth is what God says.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's true confidence. What does God say about me? God says that I am fearfully and wonderfully
Mm-hmm.
made. God says I am the head and not the tail. He says I'm above and not beneath.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
he says I am a royal priesthood. He sent his only son for me. Like, we have so much value, but our confidence don't match the value that God has already placed on
Mm-hmm.
us. So that's my greatest purpose of that brunch and my nonprofit, A Confident You.
All right. Talk about this nonprofit.
So A
Talk about
Confident
it.
You, it's an incorporation, but it's actually an acronym for A Confident You in Christ. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we don't realize that we can stand on our confidence, but we have to be rooted in God. Like, our
Mm-hmm.
foundation has to be
Mm-hmm.
God in order for it to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So through that, I want to show women how to stand on confidence God's way. Because everything I've gone through, everything I've experienced, everything I've done, all the faith that I have, it's evidence of God in my life. I wrote
Yes.
suicidal notes that I can go back to and see. I've gone through situations. I have proof of it. But the way that God showed up, the confidence that I can have in God through all of it, it
Mm-hmm.
outweighs anything else. So I truly want women to know that confidence stems from, it is all in God. And then it's us, then it's our community. But
Mm-hmm.
it has to start with God first for it to be sustainable.
Yes, 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 yes. I love it, Miss Symone. Come on, talk, girl. Symone Talks. Y'all see by the show name Symone Talks, honey, because she got some nuggets, some jewels, some
Yeah.
scripture.
Yes,
Little sis got a few things that she could get off her chest right now. And I love it because, again, to know that you start off, and again, we are as children, we're so impressionable. People could just say whatever, and we run with it. I too dealt with so many different insecurities based off of what people who was the closest to me said. That was crazy, and to release it all, it's a relief. Let's. Hey,
What
hey,
up,
hey, Michael
Simone?
Clark, what's
Hey,
going
Michael
on?
Clark. Hey, how you doing?
So again, let me go back. We got Symone of Symone Talks on here. She is on here telling us how SymoneTalks was birthed. It has been live now for 5 years.
Yes.
How it was birthed, when it was birthed, how it was inspired. And I am honored. I was honored to be a guest on one of the shows.
We
And
spoke on generational curses.
yes, we did. We did. Come on, let's talk about generational curses. Let's
Okay.
talk about them. What do you know, honey? What can you share with us about generational curses and some things that you've seen
Oh,
and broken, and the generational curses that you've broken from through your through living and understanding.
I would say one of the greatest generational curses I feel like I broke was going to therapy and actually being serious about my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not saying that people in my family don't do it, but I really think that I was one of the first people to step into it
Mm-hmm.
that way, because I've been studying Exodus heavily. Moses, he took the children out of captive and he led them into the wilderness so that they can release what was already, like, what they had on them,
Mm-hmm.
like fear, doubt, all of that, to
Mm-hmm.
go into the promised land. So I feel like that was one of the greatest generational curses I broke was to stand up and say, I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be suicidal. I want to seek help outside of my family. I love God, but I need a therapist. I need someone that I can talk to that can give me another opinion. That way I can go back and I can learn and I can walk my family through that, or I can break it and they see me doing it and then they'll walk into it and take it more seriously. That way their children's will be broken of that as well. Because we don't understand. One thing I stand on is that everything we go through starts at home. Our habits, our traits, our cycles, it's what we see our parents do. Like I saw my parents do a lot of things. And some of the things I did follow after, and I didn't realize it until I got older. And some of the things I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not following that. I was conscious enough to say, yeah, I'm not following that. But he said, release the captive child before they could enter the promise. Yep.
Yes.
But they didn't want to do that. That's why they had to walk and journey for 40 years. It took them so long because they didn't want to release it. And that's another thing I want people to know. Sometimes it's not gonna instantly happen. I didn't instantly start SymoneTalks and suicide stopped and depression stopped. It was just 2022 that it was a full year that I didn't experience suicidal thoughts. That was my first year of fully walking to the freedom of I'm a little sad right now. I'm going through a lot. I don't want to use this as an option. That was my first year going through it. And I've been doing this for it was a decade that I was going through what I was going through. So it's gonna possibly take a decade to get out of it, because we learn repetition. We learn cycles. So the habits that I had, I have to break it. But it's a choice. I made a choice. That's another generational curse I decided to break. I made the choice, the conscious choice to wake up every day and say, okay, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna
let me say, God be the glory for that.
Amen.
I mean, you even making a decision to say, I choose my life over death. You know what I mean? To say I'm gonna release that pain. Hey Lisa.
Hey. Symone talking that
talk for sure.
Hey Tay.
So again, I want to acknowledge that, because every day isn't a strong day. Every day isn't a yes day. Every day, I think one of the things that stuck out to me the most the end of last year was when the gentleman died that was the DJ off of Ellen DeGeneres show or whatever. And before I used to think that it was, suicide was such a selfish act, but then for somebody to be in a constant battle in their mind like that for 40 years, that's a struggle. So to hear you say, I made the choice not to, it's broad, and to know that choice, man have choice, you know what I mean? That you made that choice and you moving forward in life. Like, it's just beautiful. So I thank God for you being here.
Amen. Me too.
I thank God for you being here, honey.
Me too. I'm glad I'm here.
Y'all listen.
I walking and talking it. I'm like, oh, I see why you was trying to take me out.
Yes.
You don't want me to say nothing, because I'm gonna touch on this just a little bit. Okay. I learned that because my favorite scripture, it matches my brand, is Proverbs 18:21. Okay. It's life and death lies in the power that thy own tongue, and they that love it will eat the fruits of it. So I didn't realize that even through what I was saying, I'm tired, I want to give up, I don't want to do this. Like, my words was carrying so much power. And even in my silence, it had power, because I was keeping myself in bondage. Yes. And a lot of people don't understand, the longer you stay silent, the longer you stay in bondage. Isolation. Your words have freedom. That's why SymoneTalks is therapeutic healing through talking, because it wasn't until I opened up my mouth and I said what I was going through that I was really free to acknowledge it, accept it, be accountable for some of it, address it, and let go of it. Right. Because that's what bondage is. Just say, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna break it. I'm not gonna, it happened. We just gonna sweep it under the rug. But true freedom is saying, no, this is not gonna take me captive. I'm gonna release this. This is the past. God loves me more than and a lot of times we forget that the things we get stuck on, God has already forgotten that.
Oh, yes.
Like we carry our trauma, we carry our bondage, we carry our burdens
way longer
than God does.
That's
like,
right.
What? You still
That's
gotta
right.
do this? I'm here and you're here. We're on two different levels. Like, come on up, because I'm not worried about that anymore. I already forgiven you. That's what Jesus died for. Every sin that you have, and he says that it says in his word, he formed us in our mother's womb. So he already know what we're gonna do before we do it. But we try to say like, oh no, God, not going. He's going to love you because he already seen it happening. He gives us choice and free reign. So of course you're gonna make choices and decisions, and he's gonna love you in spite of it. But he can't love what you fake to be. He can't love what you don't take to him or what you don't address. He can only love what he knows. Because he's not a God that's gonna just come in and say, give me all of you and tell me what you're going through. He gives us free reign to make that decision for ourselves. So I just really want to tell anybody, if you're going through anything, acknowledge it. That's how you break free, through your words and through actually saying, this happened to me. But the true freedom is saying, I'm not going to let this keep me down and control me. That's where you get your power back.
I concur. I love it. Again, here we are. I keep talking about this because, again, we're on Let's Talk with Whitney Danelle. So I'm going to reiterate. I done been through some stuff, and I hit a brick wall. And that brick wall, while hitting that brick wall, I had to, because I came from a family that literally didn't talk about hardships. It said, shh, don't tell what's going on in my house. Listen, hush, shut up, do it with a smile, But through that smile, I'm fighting back tears, and I'm dying on the inside, and I just want to scream to the top of my lungs, this not working for me. So when I hit that brick wall last year, the thing that I had to say is, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I don't feel okay. I felt it mentally, spiritually, physically. It was brain fogs. I was not okay. And so I had to make a conscious decision to line myself back with the word of God, find the help that I needed through therapy, and then make a choice to run after what God called me to run after. And that excluded anybody else. That was a me and God thing. It was a choice that I had to make between me and God. And now I'm out to prove it to myself. I'm not looking for validation through nobody else. The validation comes through my movement at this point.
Amen.
And I'm just gonna watch God do what God do, because he's great.
Abundantly.
Yes.
Power in the tongue.
Yes. My court, power in the tongue. That's definitely the truth. There's power in the tongue.
Amen.
So tell us a little bit more about the power of this tongue and what's coming up. Like, what do you have coming up, honey?
Okay, so I am releasing in February. It's going to be it's my brand anniversary month. 25 days of SymoneTalks. So the calendar will be dropping very soon. I will be releasing my first course. It's SymoneTalks Therapeutic Healing Through Talking. I share my journey on 5 steps that I took to really get to a place of freedom, because it's a journey. This is a journey.
Right.
So I really want to be able to give others tips that help me and steps that help me and that continue to help me stay free from depression, suicide, people pleasing, just so many different things. So that will be coming. My brand anniversary is February the 25th. So I'll be actually dropping that day.
Good, beautiful.
My first product too that I'll be releasing under my brand. And I'll have a journal that I'll be releasing with it as well, because it's one thing to speak it, but sometimes before you can say it, you have to write it. I believe heavily in journaling. I journal every day, 3 times a day. So I will be having a matching journal to the course that'll be dropping with it as well. And once we wrap up tonight, I'll be dropping my first flyer.
All right.
Speaking engagements. So if you want to book me, I will officially be opening my books for that tonight.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Where are you located? How
I
can people
am
find you?
the sunny state of Florida in Northeast Florida, Jacksonville. Also, I forgot. Birthday Mardi Women's Brunch is now a conference, December 8th through the 10th. Save the date.
Okay, December 8th through the 10th.
2023.
Okay. 2023. All right, honey. Put up some flyers, get us some stuff going. Make sure you post it on Let's Talk with Whitney Danelle. Maybe we could I can come on down in support of, I will.
Yeah, and I do want to, I haven't released this yet because Tallahassee was the birthing place for me really getting back into my relationship with God. I do want to have an event there. Like I have to. Like I have to come back to the city that helped me get back to my relationship with God. Because a lot of times I feel like, oh, I was sent to Tallahassee, but being sent to Tallahassee saved my life. So no matter what happened, that's the birthing place of me getting back to my relationship with God. Like that, I'll never forget. I was in high school. I came for spring break before I moved there. And Viceroy concert, I don't remember if he was there or not.
Who was it? Which one?
Viceroy, Darius.
No.
Brown.
No.
He did a concert. And that's when I really broke down, got saved.
Michael said, awesome walk in your calling, Symone.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, this baby is a light and I love her. Such a light. I love her. So yeah, you need to go ahead and come on back to Tallahassee and give us a little bit of this Symone Talks. Give us a few conferences of Confident Us so we can get our life in line with the Lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna I gotta get my team together this year since I got a conference.
We got teams now. See, y'all
gotta get a team now.
Yeah.
Do it on my own. It's a little too big. So
that's right, baby.
A lot.
That's it.
One day I could do 3 days. I need more.
Call it what it is. It's big. I like it.
So
Symone Talks is major, baby.
I'll come mid-year. I can come down there and do something. I'm gonna sit with God. No, I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna get something together. But I do want to. He said, big.
Big, all caps. Y'all better find somebody to play with. That's what I'm talking about. Let's connect. Let's get you going. Yeah, that'll be so beautiful.
I have the connects there to do it.
Yes, you do.
I have the people there. I just need to.
Yes, you do.
I just need to step into.
So it's all doing right now. Like Michael Cork say, put a date on it.
Okay,
yeah, like Mike say all the time, put a date on it. Don't just no wishful thinking. We need dates, baby.
I'm gonna put a date on it because I have to honor, my people in Jacksonville. I do have to honor my dates.
Don't do us like that. Don't do us like that. I'm not. I know that's your birthplace and all, but this your birthplace. You know what I'm saying?
My rebirth happened. I was birthed in Jacksonville, but I was rebirthed in Tallahassee.
You know what I'm saying? So don't do us that. Okay. All right.
I just know February, March, and August. I can't do those days.
But you work out, you work out your big schedule. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna drop the flyer though.
I can't wait for you to drop it.
I'm gonna come. I have to come. I get a lot of support from Tallahassee too. Yeah. So I cannot leave my people like that.
I like that. I like that. Tell people how they can find you, period, on all of your tags.
So everything is Symone Talks, Instagram, Symone Talks, YouTube, Symone Talks. Podcast is actually What a Word Podcast by Symone Talks. My website is www.SymoneTalks.com. SEO. Everything got a match. And if you Google Symone Talks with a space in between, everything will come up. Everything.
I like it. I love
Even
it.
my magazine features, she'll see me in.
The who?
My magazine features that I have,
Tell
you'll
me
see
about
me
some
in that.
magazine features, honey. Who we feed? What's going on?
I had a feature with Voyage ATL,
All
um,
right.
Emerge. I think it's Emerging Black magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and I have another one coming. It hasn't dropped yet. With Shout Out Atlanta. It'll be dropping next month. So
All right, Symone. I love it. I'm so proud of you. I'm
thank
so happy that you decided to come on here too, honey.
you too. I'm
Yes. Do
excited.
you have any advice for our listeners tonight?
The greatest advice I want to give is what you said. When you hit your breaking point, is realizing that you wasn't okay and that it's okay. It is okay not to be okay. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it is okay. God's not gonna look at you any differently. It doesn't matter about what anyone else say, because if you can't show up for you, you can't show up for anyone else anyways. So it is okay not to be okay, and it is okay to seek help. You don't have to be crazy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay to do those things, because you have to remember that your purpose, we're here for a greater reason.
That's
And I
right.
always try to remind myself that my purpose is bigger than me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here for somebody else. I went through everything I went through was to bring
Mm-hmm.
other people through it.
Mm-hmm.
So always remember that you have a greater purpose within you. And if you need me, if you need any of us, if you need help, reach out and talk to somebody.
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
mental health advocate. If you need to talk to me, email me, slide in my DMs. Don't try to talk to me, but if you really need somebody to talk to,
Then you say
slide in
Simone
my.
Talks. Don't
If
tell
you
them that.
open, I'm not open for dates now, but I'm open if you really need someone to vent
Woo.
to, because I know how it is to feel like you don't have anyone that understands or that really wants to listen to
Mhm.
what you're going through, because that's how I feel. I didn't have nobody. Nobody understood. So I went,
Mhm.
doing this and doing that. So I'm here. I
You know,
understand.
I think was dope about what you said, and it's something that I saw not too long ago. Um, if you decided to not have your breakthrough, how many people wouldn't reach their breakthrough? You know what I mean? Because it's all through interaction that we get to our next space, you know, but how many people would have died or would have just remained mediocre or spiritually bound without Simone Talks? You know, we got to put the pressure on ourselves to that we're connected to somebody, and to make the choice to grow up, to mature, to make the decision to put us aside, die to ourselves, because there's a greater calling on our life. So I think that is beautiful. I think that, again, what you just said was beautiful about, you know, your birthing place and rebirthing place. You know what I mean?
Reverse the
Yeah,
reverse.
birthing and rebirthing. And we all need to stay in that realm or get there. So
Yes.
again, 2023 for me is about movement.
Amen.
It's about
Evolution.
movement. You know, I'm result driven at this point. Like, I don't care about excuses. And if I have an excuse, because everything can be valid at some point, you
Yep.
know, because life is going at a million miles a minute. Like, it's going, like, we're here. So life is happening. So what I may be feeling may be valid, but is it going to hinder my process of growth? You know, if it's gonna stunt that, we're gonna keep moving.
Yep.
What I'm feeling is simply a feeling.
Yep. That's
It's
what it is.
simply a feeling.
It's controlling your emotions
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so they don't control you.
Mm-hmm. Because I had
So
some feelings before I cut on this let's talk with Whitney Danelle.
that it's a part of the journey, and that's another thing I want to share, because we try to take the human out of who
Mm-hmm.
God has made us to be, and
Mm-hmm.
we try to be like, oh, feelings and emotions don't matter. Yes, it does matter.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Jesus. We're not perfect. We will never be perfect. It's okay to be a human having human experiences and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Please, I want to encourage people, stop thinking that it is not. You're human. God knows that. You're gonna have those challenges. You're gonna have those emotions. You're gonna have those feelings. It's a part of who you are and he made you to be. So don't.
But it's
try
about.
not to.
But the other thing is, it's about growing through them. You
Yeah.
know. So I have grow through it Wednesdays or whatever you feeling, grow through it. You know, don't let that be your defining point or that stagnant place in life. Like, don't live in that space. It's not that you don't have feelings and that your feelings don't matter. No.
Yep.
Grow through them. Look at everything. Look at how it's, because our life every day that we get up. It gives us a progress report of our thoughts, our actions, and how repetitive things that we do. It just is there.
Yep.
So it's not that your feelings don't matter, but at what point do your feelings really not matter? Is it supporting the dysfunctional part of you, or is it supporting your growth? Grow through that stuff.
I agree. Acknowledge it, release it.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I give myself pity days. I give myself like 1 or 3 days to process how I'm feeling. Then after that, I got to get up, because I'm like, the longer I sit in this, I'm not going to do nothing.
Me too.
I'm like,
yeah. Me too.
Nothing's going to get done.
And some people may be like, days. No. First of all, the way my mind works, let me work through it. It would be beneficial to you for me to work through that.
Give me a couple days, I'll be back.
But you know, the other thing too is I'm in this space right here. You know, I'm in a space where if your peace caused me grief, it's a no. It's a no for me. Like, I don't care if I got to acquiesce for you to have peace. We ain't doing it. That's just not a space that I'm in anymore. Like, I don't care to conform to your thoughts or whatever for you to have whatever peace or to co-sign whatever dysfunction that you have in your life. Like, none of that matters to me. Yep. What matters because I'm gonna try not to put anybody in a space where, you know, I'm having to tell them, well, hey, just, you know, this is how I'm feeling. I just want you to go along. No. I'm not going to do you like that. So I'm not taking that on in my life anymore.
I'm with you on that, because we don't realize how much of someone else's problems and someone else's energy and spirit that we take on when we allow that into us. Because a lot of times we may be battling something that someone else spoke on us or said through conversation and interaction that we wasn't even thinking of feeling. Like, energy transfers. It really does.
Right. And the realization that I'm not, so there's a certain level of responsibility that I have for how I make you feel about something. Anything other than, I'm not responsible for what you're feeling, you know, and I would encourage anybody to grow through that, because I got to grow through mine in order to continue to move. But anywho, that's a whole nother subject.
Can I say one more thing?
You sure can.
Because you asked me about my event, and I missed the most important thing about it, even in the title, Leading by Faith.
Yes.
That was a faith and favor event. I totally skipped over that. God literally, it was sponsored through God. Like, people don't understand. Faith is seeing it before you see it. Yes. So I saw my event. You know, I had everything. I saw it a little bit because I didn't want to have it at first. But when I saw it, I was like, okay, God, I need your help. I literally had, this is my year of 2022, because it's 2023, was my year of asking for help. Okay. Like, I struggled to ask for help. That's one of, you know, I can do anything else. Asking for help, it's hard for me to receive it and ask for it. So last year when I had to ask for help. And it was a pride thing that I had to fight. That's another part of confidence. I had to fight through. Okay, Symone, you confident in you doing this by yourself, or you confident in God sending you what you need, just like he did last year? Right. So I'll never forget this. Just a quick story. Now I'll wrap it up.
You
It was about a month out from my event,
good.
and I was, I couldn't. I had a place. It was not where God wanted me to have it. Things fell through. So I'm like, okay, God, I done looked at all these places, trying to find a new place. I reached out to all these people. This is where faith comes in. I don't know what to do. So I text my writing coach because she was my right hand man. I was like, I'm letting you know first.
Yes.
I'm canceling this event. I'm giving all the donations back, and I'ma just try again next year.
Okay.
So she's like, what? And she's like, no, Symone, you can do it virtual. She's like, you really need to pray about it. And I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do it virtual. I'm not doing it. I just made up in my mind that I wasn't gonna do it. But she told me to pray on it. So I was like, okay, I'm praying. I'll never forget, I was sitting in my bed. I journaled what I was feeling. I got naked before God. I said, God, this is bigger than me. This is what I want. I said, I just want a nice space with enough parking that has your presence. That's all I said. I said, it doesn't have to be big, because last year my old event was in the back of an old Victoria's Secret. So I was like, if you can move there, you can move anywhere. So I was sitting, I was praying, I was crying, and God whispered, the Holy Spirit whispered, it said, Google women-owned businesses. And I'm like, God, I've been Googling these businesses all week. Like, what you talking about? I actually did it. And this event space that I've never seen before popped up. And it's Lady of the House. It's called Lady of the House Lifestyle
It was beautiful.
Luxury.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. And if y'all please go to SymoneTalks on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. The venue was beautiful.
So beautiful. So it pops up. And I'm like, okay, this wasn't here these past few days. I've been struggling to find it. So I was like, okay, God. So I clicked on it, and her website is up. Everything is up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the place. I'm looking at the pictures. This is it. I'm like, this is it. So I call her. I text her. Her page, her website says she followed up in 48 hours. She followed up to me within 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
12 hours. She followed up with me, and she said I could come in. I think I went in like 2 days later to see it, because I said, I want to have my event there. I need to see this. So my faith is, my funds, I ain't gonna lie, money was looking a little funny. So I still went. I was like, okay, God, I'm going to trust you with all of this.
Faith. Yep.
Faith. I go to the event space, meet this woman. She tells me, yeah, I just opened up. She had just opened up.
Oh, wow.
Her event center the day that I saw it. And the event, she wasn't even having she was having her daughter's baby shower there. So I was the first women's event that she had there. That's what faith and favor got me. So we're talking. She was like, yeah.
When two women with faith connect, I like it.
She was just telling me who she was, what she did. And she's a psychologist. She has her doctorate. Like, she's a woman of God. She built churches. I'm like, this is where God, the other one fell through, because this is where God wanted me to be.
Yes.
This is where he wanted me. So, even though he did, I'm still like, okay, God, money looking a little funny. I got this and I got that. And this woman is literally, my faith is like this. This woman is messaging me. She's not even asking me about money. She's just like, Symone, are you going to have your event here? Symone, are you going to have your event here? I'm like, yeah. I'm just getting my sponsors together. Yeah. I'm having, and she's just asking me. And I'm just like, okay, why at first, it didn't click. Then I went and I talked to her, and she was like, Symone, you're supposed to have your event here. However you want to work things out, let me know.
Wow.
And I was just like,
so faith led to favor.
Faith led to favor. And from there, everything just fell in. I got a print sponsor, free.
Wow.
Food sponsor, half of my food, free. What else came through? Donations. People were sponsoring tickets. Like, it was faith and faith. Every word that I spoke.
What did that do to your confidence?
It boosted up. I'm like, listen, ambassador is like, he fully funded. People don't understand.
We outside.
God fully funded that event. So for him to fully fund it, I'm like, oh, it's nothing. Y'all can't tell me the man who broke suicide off of me and And then after I went through one of the worst years of my life, came through and saw through my event and gave me faith and favor with people that never seen me, but they saw the vision and they knew God, that they trusted that that's where I was supposed to be, and I'm who they were supposed to invest in.
I like that. I
So I
like
just
that.
said I had
But
to
you
share that
equally
with
made
her.
an investment too, because both of you, she opened up a business, this event space. You you gave recognition to her business and she gave recognition to you. So if faith on both of y'all part led to favor with each other, that I hope led to friendship.
Yes,
3F.
yes, we are still connected. Cause
Yes.
I said, listen, I'm gonna refer you to everybody. You just don't know what you done did. You
I
just
like
opened the
that.
floodgates because you didn't have to do that,
I
but
like
you
that.
did.
I'm sorry, I gotta write that down. Faith, favor, and friendships. That's the objective, is to stay connected.
Amen.
You gotta stay connected to people. You gotta treat people right. So I
Amen.
think that's so dope.
Yeah.
I like that, Symone.
Yeah, I just had to share that for people who faith, when your faith get a little weary, always remember the evidence of God. Because a holy food, cards, she had decor, tablecloths, almost everything I needed.
That testimony just
much out of pocket. Like
that
God literally allowed the flood to come. Literally.
Your testimony literally just put me in the mind of when I did Curvy Chicks Rock, when I did that fashion show. And I think it was Charlene Show Go Howard. Hey girl.
She be getting everybody together.
Yes, when she purchased the first ticket. Oh my God, I cried. I didn't know I could cry from happiness. I cried. I was so happy. I was like, really? And then she didn't just buy like a general admission ticket. She bought a VIP ticket. And then it was sold out. Then general admission was sold. It was standing room only. Like when I tell you, that thing just like took me to heaven. So yes, I can definitely connect with what you're saying. That's exactly what that thing just brought me back to. Symone. And even through that,
listen, God gonna do
it. Faith.
Faithful. So definitely, no matter what it looks like, trust God. Let your faith.
The other thing is, even through, I'm thinking about that. Every time I plan or do something that's God ordained or God is doing with me in my life, like literally, He put key people in my life that has become lifelong friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't care what I may think in my head. You know what I mean? It's lifelong friends that's willing to help me. So again, that faith gave me favor with new friends in this new spaces. I like that. Again, connections, baby. I like that, Symone. So we got faith, favor, and friends out of this. I like it.
Nothing else.
We got faith, favor, and friends. Dang, that's dope. Okay, I like it. I
just had, I had to give honor to God because
that testimony was beautiful.
I did record the day you sent me the flyer, that I recorded my video on that for my YouTube channel. So I was like, look how God connected the two.
And it's gonna keep going up. We're going up. Amen. We're gonna continue to move from here. I think you are amazing. I think you're amazing. I think your drive is amazing. Like I said, to continue to move, to hold on to your faith and to hold on to what God told you and to continue to move despite everything that you have gone through, to me is commendable. I take my hat off to you. I'm proud of you. If ever you need to talk, girl, you got my number. Just call me. Like, again, it's so beautiful to watch you grow from this teenager to this grown woman. So I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Symone ain't always been who she is. That was God.
all God. This is a God move. So I
Yes.
just want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. And hopefully we can have you back on again to talk about some more of this journey that you're on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you as well. And I just want to say, I gotta say Symone gonna talk. So I just want to tell you to continue to allow God to move through you, to show up and to do this. Do not let anything or anyone stop you from the vision that God has given you. To highlight women on different things that matters, because I know you had a train on fitness train on here. Health is mental is more than just the mind, it's the body, the soul, and the spirit. So to have different women speaking on different things, that's a blessing, especially to our community, because we don't see that enough. So I want to thank you for joining me in this journey.
Yes.
Because it's not just me, it's you as well, having these conversations and coming out and sharing your story as well. So I want to commend you and thank you for joining me on the journey to bring more women into this space, into this atmosphere of freedom through God.
Yes. All right, now y'all done heard it here, honey. We done made it through a whole hour of Let's Talk with Whitney Danelle and Symone, honey, of Symone Talks.
Yeah.
A confident me. So I am in love. I am full at this moment. Like you gave me everything that I need, and I hope everybody else is listening. I hope that you got what you need.
Amen.
So Symone, again, thank you for joining us. Y'all go ahead and give us some claps. Hit her up on IG, Instagram. Hit her up on Instagram, Facebook, her podcast. Listen, as a matter of fact, I ain't even gonna butcher it. Just go in the description. I listed all her tags there. Know that all of it is Symone Talks.
Yes.
Go down there, click a link, get to it. If you have any questions, concerns, whatever, get to it. If you need her as a mental health advocate, if you need her as a motivational speaker, if you need her as a content creator, somebody to help you build your brand, man, go ahead and click on the link and get in contact with her.
Yeah. And if you need a confidence coach, I'm certified.
Hey, Miss Juma.
That was oh my gosh, I love you. This
my birthday twin. Hey, girl, hey.
She see the Symone. She see her too.
And Symone, y'all, has changed for life. We said we weren't gonna do it. We said I couldn't resist. For life. It's a full life thing. God is all over her. So listen again.
All his glory. All his glory.
Yes. Where's Charlene at? I just mentioned her. I just gave her a shout out. Again, she was the first person to buy a VIP ticket to Courage Chicks Rock. And I love you, Charlene. I love you,
if you need
Charlene.
a life coach in the Tallahassee area, she is a great one.
Yes. So again, I want everybody to have a good night. I'm going to close out the way I always do. The greatest privilege in life is to be you. So continue to bless somebody's life with your presence. And listen, just keep moving. This has been another Let's Talk with Whitney Danelle show, a successful one. I thank you all. You have a good night. Love you all.
Good night, y'all.